Welcome to the first episode of
Coach to Coach?
Coach,
Or
2 for 1
Coaches
coaching.
for Coaches?
Coach's Coach.
We're working on it, okay? We need help. So if you've got any ideas, please put them in the comments below. We're working on this.
Episode is focused on having dynamic duos within a coaching business, or you could say a partnership.
Yeah. Essentially, what we want to do is just have a discussion with you about what's real important and what the primary focus needs to be for you to consider when you're going to delve into a partnership in business with someone. You might think surface level that this person that you've chosen to work with is just ticking all the boxes. But really, we want to delve into that before you guys make that commitment and potentially run a course and come to a point where a relationship is ruined or that you don't want this anymore and the dream dies.
Yeah, and we've definitely had a lot of conversations with current clients who have thought about going into business with a friend or a romantic partner. And we've also had people outside of the coaching industry speak to us, well, how does it go? Like, you two in business together, you're spending a lot of time together. Like, there must be some challenges there, and like, you know, fishing for some goss or just wanting to understand, because it's something that a lot of people have probably considered or might like to do in the future.
Yeah, I've certainly spoken with people as well that want to do this because they've got complementing skills and the same goals, particularly as partners as well. So let's jump straight into it.
I think first cab off the rank is the backbone of the business. So Jenna and I had considered going into business a number of years prior to running our current businesses, our current business, I should say. But before that, we both ran our own individual businesses. So I had a digital marketing agency. Jenna had a life coaching business.
Yeah.
And for me, I was concerned about, okay, well, if we go into business together, that's a lot of time spent together. That's a lot of agreement we need to have on the direction of the business. And I would say the key reason that we did come together and decide to work together was because we had an agreement on what the business would be. And a large amount of that came from working with our mentors and having an agreed upon business plan. So everything from who we were going to be working with, what we were offering, what our roles were within that business, the strategies, the tactics, all of it, alignment.
And can I say, just to jump in there as well, that I think more importantly, that we have always had a very solid basis of communication between us. We've always communicated really, really well. And I think that for us was why our personal relationships work so well. Certainly I have found that I'm able to communicate with you without feeling attacked, without feeling unheard, without feeling like, oh, I can't say that. And to have that trust and those levels of ability with one another to communicate, that really, without that and this alignment, you're not going to be able to really foster your relationship.
Yeah, and I wanted to protect that, right? So when I say I was concerned about should we go into business together, it's because everything was so good outside of the business world. We were operating our own businesses and doing well. Why put that in jeopardy? Why risk that?
Yeah.
But ultimately, we both knew deep down that we had these complementary skills and we wanted to take advantage of that and run with it. And I'm so glad we did. I'm so glad we spoke to our mentor about doing that. And there was certainly a number of principles that we need to have established before we could go away and do that, and we'll come to those. But this alignment piece is so crucial. It's the backbone, as we say, and it's alignment on everything, right? It's alignment from the business strategy, but also an alignment in terms of what you're both expecting to put into the business and what outputs you're expecting to come from the business.
Yeah, making sure you got the same goals as well, like down to the point where you know how you want to spend your time, you know what and how much you want to put in. What does that look like for you compared to what does that look like for you, for your other partner?
Yeah, I think for me, I see it as three different things, right? There's as a financial investment, what are you both willing to put into the business? As a couple, that's obviously you're probably agreeing on your household savings or your household income and what
Over
proportion
a
of
romantic
that.
couple, yeah.
So yes, you need to agree on that. If you're a platonic couple, a couple of friends, maybe even other relations, then you're going to have separate pots of money that you're bringing in. Yeah. So agreement on that up front. Maybe it's a percentage of the income that you bring in, whatever way you want to talk about that. financially need to agree on it.
Yeah.
Time wise, so another resource that we have, how much time do you want to both put into the business? Fortunately for Jenna and I, it was like, well, let's run an efficient business. We don't want the business to be a 40+ hour week business.
No.
We want to be able to run a business that provides us with the financial output that then we can go on and live our lives.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's important to note as well that you need to have a real connection and an alignment on what your ideal client is as well. It's all very good and well if you're ticking boxes so far with these answers, but your friend or your partner, whoever it is you want to go in business with, their ideal client is this and this and this kind of person, but then you want to work with someone else, that there really just needs to be this one base, which is why like niching down is talked about a lot, and how the importance of it being a success in your business, because you need that one focus.
Yeah, I think by having that, there's less conversations around, oh, well, should we go here? Should we steer the business in this direction for a little while?
Yeah.
By having it all nailed down and almost
Agreed.
It's an agreement. It's almost like a contract that you both say, well, this is the business that we're going to build, and we're going to keep that course until the business is built, and we're going to have a really good reason to derail that strategy.
Yeah, absolutely. Keeping that alignment alive and that your point of focus. And also to this, you need to know what your skills are, what you're bringing to the business, and then what the partner's skills are as well. And make sure that you are both able to bounce off one another and utilize them, but really most importantly, how that contributes to your client. Because really what we're doing here as coaches or consultants is we're servicing them, like we're helping them, they're our focus. So it needs to be that we're bringing the best of us, each person, to that client.
Yeah, so it's for the benefit of your business and for your client.
Both of them, absolutely. Yeah.
So as much as you have those complementary skills, you also want to think about the fact that you don't want to be left behind. So the way that we look at it is, this is our business, but both of us will run at this business as hard as we can to make it a success on our own. So if Jenna was just not taking part in the business at all, I would run it completely on my own, and vice versa. So in doing that, you want to make sure that you're constantly up leveling and not becoming complacent, because Jenna, for example, is fantastic at branding, fantastic at marketing. I'm not as good at her on those things, in my opinion, but that doesn't mean that I won't do them, because I know that I need to step up and I can continue improving on that. And Jenna's an inspiration for me, and I'll keep on working towards it. I know, I'm sure there's other things the other way around. I won't step on toes there. But the point is, you can't become complacent. You need to have this idea of, yes, we're in a partnership, but I am an individual and I need that personal development on my own.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you just can't lean on people that you're in business with. Obviously you can in other aspects, but when it comes to your own development and skills and comfort zone, you need to keep pushing yourself as an individual. You are your own person in this business.
So yes, you are two individuals working on the business. You are pushing it forward on your own as an individual, but you also want to work in unity with each other, in cooperation with each other.
Yeah.
So a big part of that is communication, which we'll come on to on its own in a second. But the fact that you are a duo means that you have that opportunity to take advantage of all the benefits that come with that.
Yeah.
So as an individual, you have your own energy cycle, you have your own inspiration cycle. You might be particularly good in the morning at your creative work, or you might be having an off week.
Yeah.
You want to be bouncing off each other, and hopefully one is stepping up when the other one is stepping back. And this is just a natural part of business. It happens in terms of the finances in the business, it happens in terms of creativity, growth, all of it works in cycles.
Yeah.
But when you've got two individuals that have two cycles, the business is less like this and it's more like this, because that's a pretty good dance move.
It's a slippery fish.
Because you're balancing each other out. So both of your cycles running next to each other, as long as they're united and you're coming together strongly, means that your business is much more consistent.
Yeah, absolutely. You just need to understand that there is so much power in having a duo, but there is so much work in having the balance of the duo. So you've really, really got to be a good duo to make this work.
Yeah, and I don't want to put Jenna and I on a pedestal at all here. there is a steep learning curve which comes with that communication. You're learning so much about each other.
Yeah,
You're
so
learning,
much about yourself.
Yeah, you're learning about how you react and how
Yep.
the other person reacts. You need to learn when you need space, they need space, how you approach different conversations. Sometimes you want to be subtle, sometimes you want to be more robust in your communication with
That's
each
it,
other.
yeah.
Because ultimately, if you both agreed to an outcome, you know, whether that's the financial outcome of the business or the amount of time, effort, and energy you're putting into the business, you've got to be able to have that honest conversation and pull each other up for it
Yeah.
and say, hey, look, I think this week, you know, there's different ways of saying it, but essentially if you're going to be saying, I think that I could be doing better or you could be doing better, how do you best approach that with each other?
Yeah, and on the flip side of that, there's the positive. There's the fact that you have your immediate cheerleader here. That's if you put something out there in the social platforms online, then you're going to have an immediate cheerleader going, "Guys, bloody great! I'm going to say something about that," and bounce off it. That person's already there. You've also got someone who's like a personal sponsor, an advocate for everything that you're doing. So it's really great to have all that positivity bouncing from one another. And if you can imagine when you're doing that with everything that you're putting out there, it really does lift you and build you up. You might be missing out on that when you are just doing it yourself.
Yeah, and I think a key part of that actually is trying to be really light within the business
Yeah.
and keeping a sense of humor, because there's a lot of pressure that comes with a business, right? And, you know, particularly in those beginning stages of working together in the coaching business, you know, you really want to get the results as soon as possible. You're putting pressure on yourself, which perhaps, you know, shortens your patience. You're putting pressure on the other person, which perhaps it will mean you're unkind to them in a certain way. If you keep that light, if you take the pressure off, if you make sure that you're checking in with each other and checking that each other is okay and you've got the best intentions for the other person, then you're going to get much more out of each other. And it's a constant back and forth of that energy, and you build each other up.
Yeah. And I think that really is all that we would recommend, that you do just like short list of things that you really should be checking through with your business partner before you decide to make that plunge and go into it. Or at least if you've already made that plunge and you're already in it, you would do this exercise of sitting down and going through these points. And if you want those specific points outlined to you, then send a message and we'll send them on to you so you've got them.
Yeah, I think there's a few basic tips, right? Just whoever you're going into business with, whoever your partner is, think about where you have those moments of just having a laugh together, moments of joy, and then bring those into the business. Like Jenna and I have basically a stand-up at the beginning of each day, right? Where we have 15 minutes, we align on the goals, sort of a bit of manifestation, a bit of music, we have a laugh with it, joke back and forth, and it just sets the day off right. Those things are crucial for setting the tone within a business. Now, we obviously live in the same household, so it's very easy for us to do that. Whatever way you're doing it, whether it's a weekly check-in, whenever you're coming together, keep it with that tone that you want the business to run on.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I hope that you've got some insights from that, some food for thought if you are considering starting your own business. I guess in summary, the key insights that we think we can bring out of anyone who's looking to start that partnership is, first of all, the alignment piece. It's the absolute backbone. You need to have alignment on what you're both bringing to the business, how the business is going to operate, and what the goal of the business is. So the output in terms of, you know, how much money it's going to make, what you're going to be doing for your clients, how you both want to feel in the business. Secondly, communication. It is the lifeblood of your business. If you can't communicate effectively, then it's not going to last very long. So understand the best communication style for the two of you. It's a learning curve, but I think just having that open-minded idea of how you're going to work together and have each other's best interests at heart.
Absolutely.
Coming back to that agreement of the aligned business model is the key. And then thirdly, how you work together. Bounce off each other. Take the advantage of having two people in the business. That is what is going to elevate you. The unity of that is going to be awesome for the market to see. And you can work off each other.
Making sure that you have a focus on your personal development as well. So not losing focus of you as an individual, where you need to step up and how you need to grow. And you know, we always need to do that. It doesn't stop. So keeping that as well. It's healthy. So that's it. That's the summary. That's everything we've got to tell you. Although one last thing, you're probably not going to realise that this will be a big deal, but I've no doubt the biggest argument you're going to have is over the name of your business. We've got many businesses between us and we've always taken the longest time trying to figure that one out. So good luck and have fun.
Love to hear any comments, any key takeouts. So please comment below or send us a DM if you're interested in finding out more.
Cheers.
Bye.
Yeah.